Hi guys! So I'm just going to do this quick tutorial video to show you a couple of quick tips about creating symmetry and using the alignment tool within Designsta. So I have plonked these art elements onto my template. So I've got a few arrows, little star, heart and a circle, and I'm going to create a pattern using these little doodles. Okay, so first of all I'm going to just turn some of these in using the rotate handle there. I'm going to create a little sort of pattern that I'm going to make symmetrical. So I'm copying those hearts and you can see they automatically go in a little diagonal shape when you copy and paste them. Diagonal path. I'm going to turn those in like that. Then you can maybe put them on different angles, make a cute little effect like that. I'm just messing around here, I don't really have a plan as to where this is going, but hopefully it will turn out alright. I'm just going to hold down shift and select each one of the hearts and then group them together and then copy them. I'll put them that way too. Okay, so if you wanted to make sure that these two arrows are lined up like they start in the same place, just select them both, hold shift down when you select, go to the align panel and then hit center. That's going to align them to the center. It's the second icon in from the left and that just nudges them back. You'll see if I move one forward and then select them both, holding shift, oops. Quite hard to select them both. So hold shift down and select them both and then click that center align tool and they will just knock back into alignment with each other. Push those back a little bit. Okay, and I'm going to do a little pattern with the stars. Turn those in like that and ungroup them, and then again like with the stars you can just make them a little bit wonky, turn them so they're facing in different directions. I'm going to copy that, let's group them together, copy them, and I'll place those in between those arrows there. Okay, so you can see we're building up a little bit of a pattern there. I have to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. Maybe not that much. So I'm just putting these dots. Actually, if you wanted to create a straight line of dots, I'll show you that quickly. So you just grab one of the dots, copy a few of them like that, select them all, and then if you hit this middle align option, that's just going to line them all up in a straight line, so they're all centered in the middle. And you can group them, so I'll delete these ones. Then you know they're evenly spaced as well, because when you're copying them like that, and then I'll just move this and then I'll show you. Yeah, when you copy circles like that, so I'll just grab one of them. If you just hit that copy option, it spaces them equally in a diagonal like that. And if you select them all, hit the middle one, you know they're all evenly spaced, but if you want the spacing bigger, you could just delete the ones in the middle. So now you've got bigger spaced ones, you know what I mean? So you can take out as many circles as you want. So if you're going to do loads of them, let's just have a go at that, and then I'll delete these. If you're going to do loads of them, and then hit the middle align option, but then say you want much bigger spacing, You could take those two middle ones out like that, and then you've got them spaced out. So that's a little trick on how you can make shapes evenly spaced. Just copy loads of them, send them to the middle using the middle align option, and then you can delete some if you want the spacing bigger. Okay, so I'll just zoom out a little bit, copy this. Okay, what you can actually do is, so to make sure that these are both even, I'm going to delete these ones, so we've got the bottom half of this design there. So let's group that together and copy it. And now we want to flip that up so it's the opposite way. So I'm going to untick this proportion box here, and we're going to make note of this number 95.54. If you just grab this handle and pull it up, so you're pulling it through the design up to the top, and then you type in that number 95.54, enter. So that's the same as that. Okay, and now if I ungroup that and remove that arrow because we don't need two of them, then hit group, and then if I just select both of these and send them to the center, we know that they're lined up now. So I need to pull that down a little bit so that it's got the same sort of spacing. Okay, so you want to get the spacing as equal as you can on each side of this arrow. Again, just check that they're lined up using the center align tool. So we've got one side of this design perfectly lined up. Now what we want to do is group it together, and we're going to flip it over to make the other side. So I'm going to copy that, what I've just done. Okay, so making note of the width this time because we're going to drag it across, but we want to make sure that we're keeping the same width in. So it's 73.82. The proportion box is unticked, so we can drag it through. So 73.82. So drag it across through the middle of the design, and then in the width box, 73.82. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah, 73.82. So now we've got them exactly the same width, and we just need to line them up. So if you select them both at the same time, go to the Align panel and hit Middle Align, you'll see that that's moved, so they are now perfectly lined up with each other. Now we want to put them in the middle of the page, so let's group them both together to make one shape. Go over to the Align panel and hit the Center Align option, and that'll put them in the middle of the page. Okay, so now you've got two perfectly symmetrical designs on each side of the page. So if you wanted to put some text in the middle, just move them along a bit. Again, group them and make sure that they are center align. Oops. Group them and center align them so that they're bang in the middle of the page, and then you can ungroup them again if you want. And then we can type some text. And then choose a typeface. Let's go through the list of fonts. I'm just going to pick something fun for this design. Oh, and then when you are adjusting the size of your text, always make sure this proportion box is ticked, otherwise your text is going to go really skew with. Okay, so we've got some text. I'll change the colour of that to something bright. And now we might want to put some designs coming in the top and the bottom. So again, it's just about doing what we've done at the sides. So let's have a go. Select all of those. I'll take the middle ones out because I think I need more spacing there. So I just have the 3 stars. Move them along a little bit. Ungroup those and change the direction so they're a bit quirkier. Okay. So select those. Oh, I didn't select them. Group them. Actually, ungroup them, but while they're all selected, I'm going to change the colour so that they are selected all at the same time. I'm going to go for something quite bright. Maybe not that bright. Yeah, that will do. So group them together, and then we're going to copy. So again, we're going to flip it over, so we want to know the width. So it's 52.87. So select that, uncheck that box, drag it over to the right, and make sure it's 52.87. Okay, now I want to make sure that this star and this star are lined up so that they are not wonky. So remember, go over to the Align panel and hit the middle option to line them up. Group them together and then hit the center option to make sure that they are centered in the middle of the design. Okay, so you can see what's happening here. Now I'm going to copy this and we're going to have the same one at the bottom. So again, the proportion box is unticked. This time we want to flip it down so that the height, so you see it's like reflecting from this. So the height is 73.31. You want to grab this top handle and pull it down. And then in the height, go 73.31. Okay, so we've reflected those stars. And now what you want to do is group those two together and hit middle. Oh no, that's not what you want to do, because then that's put it in the middle of the page and nothing else is in the middle of the page. So that was a bad move by me. I'm going to go undo. So what I might do is put all of this in the middle of the page and then that will work. Okay. So if I group that, put the whole design in the middle of the page, and I'm going to ungroup it and then just check that these two are evenly placed. So group these two together and put them in the middle of the place. Yeah, in the middle of the page, sorry. So that is all symmetrically lined up in the middle of the page. So it's starting to take shape as a cool design. So now maybe we want to have more of these hearts. I'm just going to copy this and get rid of the other elements. Just want one of the hearts. So delete, 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 ungroup them. Oh, they've gone all over the page. I'm not sure why that happened, but let's... that heart's got a mind of its own. Okay, so I'm just going to use this one. Oh, it's jumping all over the place. I'm not sure why that's doing that. We've got a crazy heart here. So let's put that at... so it's straight. Okay. It's a bit of a funny angle, that one. So I'm just going to copy a line of those and select them all, and then using the center align option, I'm going to send them all to the middle and group them. So now I've got a line of hearts. Check that proportion box if you're going to make the size bigger. So that's pointing, I'm putting it in the middle of the page as well, so that's now pointing down into the text. And now I'm going to put another one of those, but reverse it. So untick the proportion box, look at the height, 91.78. Pull this down so it's going through the design and it's flipped through. And it was 91.78. So enter that value in there. And then grouping these together, put them to the middle of the page. Okay, so you can see where I'm going with this. I'm just making it up as I go along, but it's all about just building up your pattern and then correctly using the alignment panel to copy and then flip it over, but using the center and middle align options quite cleverly to make sure that all of your elements are lined up on the page. Okay, so that's just a little bit of fun. It might be quite complex to get your head around when you first start out doing it, but have a go and see how you get on, and then come and share it in the group because I'd love to see the patterns that you are creating. Okay, and the cool thing about this is it's actually, if you download this as a PDF, it would be downloaded as a vector as well, so you've got yourself a high-res vector pattern if you do it like that. So I will let you have a go at practicing with symmetry in Designsta. Thanks for watching. Bye!